Hey, hello everybody.
Hi,
what we're going to be doing is a quick little training on how to gather referrals during your presentation. So as we go through this, I'm just going to kind of show you how we might introduce that in the beginning of the presentation, and then we'll fast forward to the end of your presentation, whether a sell is made or not made. Obviously our goal is to make a sell, but still we want to make sure that we get referrals. So the first thing during that process is to do an intentional warm-up with the family. So Erin, how long have you lived in the area here?
I've been here about 4 years.
Okay, for 4 years. Do you have family that lives here in the area too?
Yes,
or?
yep. I've lived in this geographical area for about 30 years, and then we bought this house about 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how many siblings do you have?
I have 3.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Do they live here in the area then?
Yep, they do.
Okay.
We're all pretty close. We like to get together on Sundays, and
Okay.
they've got lots of kids, so our kids all play.
Excellent. So they're all pretty close then. Well,
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
And you've got children as well then, right?
Right, yep. Almost out of
Excellent.
high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good. So
Yeah.
they're under the age of 18, or are they kind of grown up? Or?
Yeah, one is 20, and all the rest are under 18. They're all
Okay.
from 13 on up.
Excellent. Well, that's
Yeah.
really good. And have you got to know your neighbors here at all? Or?
Yeah, really well. We've got a really good neighborhood. That's part of why we decided
Okay.
to stay. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
group.
And do you go to church or anything here? Or?
Yeah, we do most Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the week, but most of the time we try to get to church.
Perfect. Sounds like you've acclimated well to your neighborhood then.
Yeah,
huh?
we love it. We love
That's
it.
good. Well, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, I promised you the personal wishes organizer.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm really excited to show you. This is as I kind of explained on the phone, this is, it's a free book, doesn't cost you anything. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure, we really feel it's important that everybody has this book.
Right.
And as you go through it, and as I go through it today, you're going to see that it's going to cover a lot of valuable information. So
Right.
that way, if something were to happen tomorrow, your kids and even your siblings possibly would know exactly what to do and who to call. So it's
Yeah.
going to cover all of those major decisions that have to be made.
Yeah, when my dad died, I wish we would have had something like this. So I'm glad. I know you've been kind of calling me for the last few
Yeah.
months, so thanks for staying patient with me. But I think my kids will really appreciate this.
Absolutely. Well, and you'll find too, it might take you a little bit of time to go through because there's a lot of decisions here. So we're going to go through the book, and then when we get done with the book, we'll probably talk about some other things too. But my main purpose is to get you the book. In fact, Erin, you're probably going to find that this book is so valuable after I go through it. You're probably going to want to know how other people that you know can get a copy.
Oh, yeah.
So these could be your siblings, or if you have any aunts or uncles, or even maybe friends or people at church. But I just want to make sure that you have the opportunity before I leave today to get one ordered for everybody that you think would find value in something like this.
Yeah, I told my aunt that I was meeting with you, and she actually asked if she could have one. So do you have one extra that I could give to her, or?
You know, I didn't bring any extras with me.
Okay.
And so what I will do is I'll just get her information before I leave.
Okay.
And then I'll make sure to reach out to her and make sure that she gets her own.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know
Because
she
it really helps for me to be able to sit down and explain the book.
Okay.
And so if there's questions that come up and things like that, then I actually get an opportunity to talk to them in person. So
Great, I'll tell her.
does that sound okay? Cool.
Perfect.
All right, so I just want to make sure I don't want to forget, so I'm just going to set this aside. This is going to give us an opportunity, so don't let me forget either that we're going to talk about this later, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. All right. So now we're going to get into the personal wishes organizer. We're going to ask the 4 questions. We're going to go through the book. We're going to build value, emotional value. So we're going to use our 10 questions, really get them engaged. We're going to follow through all the way to the very end, easy way, hard way, umbrella protection. We're going to go through our cost estimate. And then as we kind of wrap things up, we're going to go 2 different directions, right? They're either going to go ahead and plan and fund.
Right.
Okay. If they do that, while you're doing paperwork, you have the personal wishes profile and vital statistics form. So I'm going to simply say, Erin, while I'm working on this paperwork, would you mind, if you would please, would you take this and fill out, I'm going to have you just fill out from here to here. And then also it's really important that we have some local emergency contacts. So you mentioned you have brothers and sisters here.
Right.
Maybe an adult child as well. But if you would actually list them here as well.
Great.
So that way if your contact information changes or we need to get a hold of you about something, we've got some local contacts here as well. We'll also make sure that we get them a copy of the personal wishes organizer so they kind of know what you've done.
Perfect.
Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah,
perfect.
great.
Okay, I'll let you work on this then while I work on this other paperwork. So easy, right? 3.
Easy.
She's going to fill out the top part on her own, and she's going to now fill out the local emergency contacts, which now we're going to turn into referrals for the personal wishes organizer.
Great.
Simple enough?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. And then also, we're all done here. Worst case scenario is, I completely understand this isn't something you're able to fund today, but we do want to make sure that we have a file for you at the funeral home. So if something were to happen, at least at the very minimum, we've got your vital statistics and we've got your cost estimate done. Now, of course, these costs aren't guaranteed or anything, but I'll leave you a copy of both those things so you can put them in your folder. And at the time, you can bring that in and we'll have a general idea of what you want, although it's not paid for.
Great.
Okay, so that is an added value for the family, okay? And then I'm all done, wrap things up, Aaron. It's been really nice to spend some time with you today. I hope you found this information valuable.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we've answered a lot of your questions.
A lot, all
Perfect.
of them, and then some.
Yeah, yep. I almost forgot. Oh my goodness, I told you before.
I was supposed to remember.
Yeah, and you're supposed to remind me. Before I left, I wanted to give you an opportunity to get some of these books ordered for other family members and friends.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned that you have a brother here that lives close by, and a sister too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your brother's first name?
Eli.
Eli.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's his wife's name?
Sabra.
Perfect. And would you mind giving me their phone number?
Sure. 801-721-1376.
Yeah, do you have easy access to their address, or?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay, I'll just take their name and phone number now. It's fine.
Okay.
And you have a sister here too, right?
Yes.
And what's her first name?
Nancy.
Nancy. And what's her last name?
Smith.
Smith. Okay, perfect. And her phone number?
801-721-1376.
Okay, it's your brother and your sister. Excellent.
And I might have a few others. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah, please.
But
That'd be great.
I'd want to kind of go through a list of some people, but I might have some people at church.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd want to wait or if I could just get those to you.
No, let's do it now. Do you have your phone there? We could maybe just go through some. If you want to get your phone out.
So, but I don't know if they're ready to buy. That's the only thing.
That's totally fine, actually. I'm just going to reach out to them and offer them the book. Okay. Whether they're ready to buy or not buy doesn't make a difference to me. We just want to make sure that everyone has a copy of the Personal Wishes Organizer.
Okay.
And that doesn't cost anything.
Okay. So even my aunt, because I know she's on a really fixed income. So
totally fine. Okay. That's not a problem whatsoever.
Okay.
What is her name again?
Gertrude.
Gertrude. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gertrude, last name. Is she married?
No, she's single.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and her phone number?
801-721-1234.
Perfect. And then lastly, you mentioned that you attend church on a pretty regular basis, right?
Yeah.
Does your church ever do any sort of like seminars or get groups together to talk about things like this?
Well, I don't think anything like this. Usually they'll come in and talk, like we've had an attorney or something come in, but it hasn't ever been with the mortuary. Okay. Yeah, what would that be?
What would you, probably the best thing for me to just be to contact your clergy person.
Oh, yeah.
And just see if there's an interest whatsoever. What is...
Yeah, he actually lives in the neighborhood. His name's Martin.
Oh, perfect. Okay, his name's Martin. Okay, and do you have his phone number?
Yep.
Perfect. Yep. And what's his phone number?
Yep, 801-555-5555.
Okay, perfect. You get the gist, right? It's just to be really assumptive. In the intentional warm-up, we learned about her siblings. Maybe she's only in her 60s, right? And she still has parents alive. Maybe they haven't talked about this yet. Maybe she's older, in her 80s, and she has children that are probably in, what are their ages? Going to be 50s and 60s. Right. So the whole idea here is that we just we talk about this and we guide them through the process of gathering additional names. The biggest mistake that we make is asking something like, Aaron, can you think of anybody who would be interested in pre-planning their funeral?
Right, because now they're trying to go through all their friends' budgets.
Right. Who
has extra money that I know, which is never anyone. So,
right.
Yep, just how he handled that is perfect. Just, you know what, I'm just happy to visit with them, deliver the book, that my job is to help everyone in the community be a little bit more prepared. I would just be happy to meet with your aunt. Just get away from the money.
Yep, absolutely. So, and that's a big amount of people to think of anyway. So in the warm-up, you're going to kind of clarify. Now, obviously, ask her some questions too about her own children. Some are over 18, some are under the age of 18. So obviously, I'm going to talk about child and grandchild protection, which is going to be extremely important too. So this is where we're just going to gather those names. Thanks so much. Is it okay if I mention your name when I call them?
Oh yeah, sure, that's fine. Would it help if I gave them a heads up, or?
That would be wonderful if you could.
Yeah,
in fact, if you want to get your phone out right now and shoot some of a text, that'd be great, right? Okay,
good.
So let's start with your brother, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Just let them know I'm going to be reaching out to them. So it's just important. And then there's the referral script, which is basically I met with Mike and Aaron this last week, and I brought them one of our Personal Wishes organizers. And during our conversation, they actually made a point of making sure that I contacted you so that I could get you one of the books as well. It doesn't cost you anything. And now our afternoons or evenings usually better for the both of you, right? So I'm just gonna really simple on the phone. It's not about buying a funeral. You're not interested in doing anything. Aaron and Mike were just simply interested in making sure that other people got a copy of the Personal Wishes Organizer. It's a very simple phone script following this. So anyways, that's how we handle the referrals.
Good job.
Give it a shot. Thanks, you guys.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Thanks, everyone.
Work it hard. Thank you.